Okay guys, we're actually here in ranked, and we're actually both rank 18, as you can see, me and the guy I'm fighting, and we're trying to rank up some. We're on a quest for legendary, which we may or may not see, which is the top rank. So today we are going to start off with Durin. That's his name, is what we're fighting. But yeah. Okay. Let's get this party started on a Saturday night. Oh wait, what? Alright, you might hear me. That Haunted Creeper, that's a very nice card. I actually need to get some of those, but they're only like in special gaming mode on here. Summon 2-on-1. Yeah, we're going to like not allow that to happen, and we're going to kill it. Goodbye. Okay. So the guy's probably raging a little bit because I did not let him have that. But this deck that I'm running, I'll actually show you the deck afterwards. It's one of the top net decks. Yes, I'm running a net deck. There's a few cards in here I don't have in the deck, but to be honest, I can't get them at the moment. So I'm just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a heads up that I'm going to attempt to do some things. Oh, I should have buffed him even more. What was I thinking? Yeah, I'm trying to do a video. That's why I messed that up. Okay, let's get some critters out here. He's going to probably come at me with that 4/4 since I didn't go after him, which I should have. We'll take it out next turn if we're still able to. Okay. Kind of did what I was going to do. So GG. GG to that. Alright, we don't need you. You can go away. This deck is actually built for straight up destruction. It's built to take their critters out. It's a fast deck. So, yeah. It's built to keep the board clear and to buff your critters so you can kill. Now, I'll explain the deck a little bit more once this match is over, and I'll go through the cards that are in my deck so you guys can kind of get a little bit more of an idea. Let's see, we're going to buff you. What do we got here? Nothing, and whenever you summon a minion, yeah, we're going to not let that happen. We'll silence that, and we'll swing with pretty much almost the whole house. Now, as you can see, I had got one of my strong cards here. It's a Doom Guard. It's a 5/7 for 5, which you have to discard 2 cards. You want to try to have no cards in your hand when you do play him, and he fled. Yeah, I guess he realized what deck I was playing. But, yeah, that's 3 stars, and now we just ranked up to 17. And Shield Bear's Footlocker. Alright guys, now like I said, I'm going to go explain the deck a little bit for you guys so you guys can understand it and see what I do. Alright, we're gonna go and open up my deck. My collection. And we are using the Warlock. Okay. Mortal Coil, deal 1 damage to a minion. If it kills that minion, you draw a card. You want to make sure minions have not a whole lot of health. And that card can come in handy. Then we have Power Overwhelming, which is a +4/+4 until end of turn. Then it dies horribly. When you equip that to your critter is going to die, but you can usually combo that up with a couple other cards and make it pretty nasty. We have Abusive Sergeant, which the numbers next to my cards tell you how many I have of the card in the deck. Like I have 1 of the Mortal Coil, 2 of a bunch of these others here, and then you have, when we get down to the U's, I only got 1 of him. This one gives a minion +2 until end of turn. Basically, Battle Cry is when the card comes into play. You put the +2 on a character that can hit. Obviously, you want to be able to hit. Arrogant Squire is a pretty good card. It's a 1/1 for 1 mana, and it gives you a Divine Shield, meaning that it's going to take damage, and it can't die. But the second time it takes damage, it'll die. Flame Imp, as you've seen, it's a 3/2 critter for 1 mana. Battle Cry, of course, I sort of explained that when the cards come into play, the effect takes effect. Now it deals 3 damage. It does 3 damage to me. I'm actually looking to replace that with something. I haven't quite found something yet, but for now, that's what I'm going to stick with. I do have Leaper Gnome. When it dies, that's what Death Rattle is. Deal 2 damage to the enemy hero, which is pretty good. Voidwalker has Taunt. Now, Taunt is a shield. So basically, when I drop that card, the shield activates. Now, my opponent has to attack that card with his critters before he can hit me directly with my life points. But he can hit my life points with like other spells and things. But his critters can't hit me until that's dead. Of course, Dark Bomb deals 3 damage. You can deal that to anything, to your opponent, to his critters. Now this Ooze, destroy your opponent's weapon. That's now, there's a few classes here that can equip a weapon, like the Warrior and the Rogue. And I think there's another class offhand I can't think of. I only really play a couple classes right now. I do have decks for all the classes, but it's always good to have one of those in case you get somebody like a warrior or something that's going to try to buff up to kill you. So that destroys his weapon, which is pretty good. The Dire Wolves are pretty good because they give you +1s to attacks on both whatever characters are next to it, which is always a good thing. Extra damage is always nice. Iron Beak Owl, which you would see me use a few times, has Silence, which automatically it comes into play, has Silence. Whatever ability the character has is done, and even when he dies, the ability stays on him until you kill the critter. Not until you kill my critter, until that critter's dead. I should have. After you summon a minion, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. Now that can be a critter, that can be the boss, or the opponent. Any way you look at it, that's a pretty good card. Now some people say this card isn't really the best card for this type of deck. I'm running with what you call a zoo deck now, because it's an aggro deck, so it's like a fast deck. You want to keep board clear, you want to attack, you want to do as much damage as possible with little critters. We have Harvest Golem, which has Death Rattle, summon a 2/1 damaged gnome, so when he dies, obviously I get a critter. Now, Shattered Sun Cleric, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing with her yet, but she's still in here for 3 mana. You can give any character on your team a +1/+1, which is nice. Defender of Argus, give adjustment minions +1/+1 and taunt. That's always good too, because you can always have 1 or 2 critters on the side of him, and then you can have 2 with taunt, which is always nice. And then of course we have Doomguard, which I had shown you guys in game, which is a 5/7 attacker right off the get-go. But that's my deck. I'm going to be doing some modifications to it. Now, the numbers here on the blue is the mana cost of the for what the cards cost, and you get a mana every turn. There is a school that gives you extra mana with cards, but that would be, I think, the Druid School, if I remember correctly. And then they do have a card, if you go second, you get a they give you like an extra mana to use, which is pretty cool. Now the mana over the numbers over here are the cards that are in my deck. Of course, I really didn't explain that when I started saying that, because there's numbers on both sides, of course. So yeah, that's just kind of a brief tutorial of my deck that I'm running, and I'll actually give you guys a little bit more. I'll get into depth with the game a little bit more and whatnot. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of bring you guys a ranked match and kind of give you guys a little bit about my deck. Alright guys, peace, and I'm out.